All right, guys, 3 days ago, we all got the same set of emails from a lot of the manufacturers announcing a lot of upgrades kits, seasonal specials, things like that, expansion kits. So I've ordered a little bit of everything. We're going to take a quick look at it and see what all they're giving to us. As you recall, I guess about a year and a half ago, I reviewed this. This is the Sparrows Dark Shift kit. And Sparrows just announced an expansion pack to this. So I thought it'd be neat to kind of review this real quick, because I'll be honest, I didn't see any shortcomings to this the first time around during the review. Inside of here, all typical Sparrows case, very flat, very light, fits in your pocket. There are no handles on any of these picks. They're all skeletonized. Not only does it look cool, but I guess it lightens the pick to a certain degree. These are very ergonomic. When you hold them, your finger indexes perfectly if you're picking in North America, so indexes perfectly to pick the pins on the top. And if you're picking in Europe, it indexes perfectly to pick the pins on the bottom. Now take a look at this. Right there, if I'm picking European locks, right there and right there are some serrations. Check it out. And the serrations just give it a little bit of grip, keep it from sliding around, a little bit of tactile feedback, I guess, if you're going to use it like that. And on the other side, of course, we have it on the back. So when you're holding it like so, it doesn't really slide, kind of grips on your hand. Not super sharp. These are tumbled. I did notice some improvements on the tumbling from the last year and a half. I didn't find any sharp edges, of course. These still need a little bit of sanding to round these off, to dome the tops and the bottoms, but when I look at the inside of these cutouts, I don't see any sharp edges at all. They really did a good job finishing these things. So they've upgraded their finish in addition to adding an upgrade kit. So we have a Euro. This is a Euro hybrid, one of my favorite picks. I really like this kit. You get a city rake, L rake. You get the whole Bogota family. So you get the double. You get a triple right here. And then, of course, compared to the regular Bogota, you get the worm for the shorter profile, and Master Locks. This is Master Lock's nemesis, this worm pick. Also in this kit, this was one of the first kits to come out with this guy. This is the Sandman. Now take a look at this. If he's inserted like that, it almost has the profile of the snake pick, so you can kind of use him as a rake. When you roll him over, you can also use him as a rake, because the tip of that, the camera will cooperate, is rounded over, so it will slide back and forth and really won't snag, but you can rake, and then you can actually use the tip of that to single pin pick. Very, very cool pick. A lot of the competitive pickers are using these. I have never heard anybody describe what that little nudge right there. I really have no idea what that is for. It doesn't really go into the lock, but I don't know. Maybe it's just purely decorative. Anyway, that is called the Sandman. And then, of course, you get the flat 5 set, still in the bag here. You get 5 different top of the keyway, every different thickness. These can be used also for dimple locks. You got some squared off ends. So very cool. I looked at this kit and I thought, there's no way they can really improve this thing. This is the ultimate kit. It's got everything you need, $39.95. But I was wrong. I ordered the expansion kit, and voila, there is what we're looking at. This is the new Sparrows expansion kit. It sells for $24.50. Now, let's take a look at what we get. It's the same style, same nice finish as the normal kit. Got that skeletonized finish, same little serrations, except now we got a new pick, and this is called the Quick Strike. And I'll show you a little bit later how to use this on another Quick Strike in this same video. Very neat tool. I really never considered this to be a kinetic tool. It's very odd. Again, it's a combination rake, and then we have an upturned tip, so you can also use that, if necessary, to pick security pins as a hook. So very neat idea. So you got the Quick Strike, a kinetic tool. They also added these two guys. Now notice none of these have handles. They're all the same thin thickness. They're all stainless steel. They're all 23 thousandths of an inch thick. And now we have all 4, get these to rest on my hand, all 4 profiles for wafer locks. So again, we got 8 different profiles. You stick it in there, you kind of What I like to do is slide it into the lock and then hold it right about here and then kind of jiggle it up and down, slide it in and out, and eventually, if that doesn't work, I'll flip it over, try the other side, etc. I got 8 different tries here. These are exactly the same profiles as all of the other industry, except in a lot smaller package. This is tiny, but the picks themselves are actual size. I mean, the size they're supposed to be. So no complaints there. Another thing that was really nice to have in any pick kit is this guy, a knife or a bypass knife. So if you have a lock that can be bypassed, this is the tool you need. So you don't have to use a hook, take a chance on breaking one of your hooks anymore. Now you have a tool specifically designed for it. Nice and small, perfect profile. Again, fits that same design as the dark shift. And then the last one, this is kind of a cool tool. And I'm going to go in this just a little bit. Again, we have the same profile for dark shift, but you have these little nibs here. And that, because it's such a small tool, you really need something to kind of grip on. Otherwise, your finger will just slide along. So rather than create tiny serrations, Sparrows has added these 3 larger serrations, and it really works. It gives you something to kind of get traction with as you use this tool. Now, I want to talk about this because every time I show this shove it tool, everybody says, well, how do you use it? You've never demonstrated it. And it really never occurred to me because it's really a pretty simple tool. So let's take a look here. I have a brand new, this is a bolt for a quick set. Now, this is actually a security one, and these are on a lot of dead bolts, but a lot of times they're also used inside of the house on some of the interior doors because they're trying to standardize. So this is kind of what you find, at least in terms of quick set on new manufactured homes in North America. Pretty simple. Now, how does it work? Well, obviously, you have a bolt, and if you can bypass it, everything will depress and you can get through the door. But you notice there's this little guy. Now, if he's installed correctly, this is depressed, and I'm going to hold it with my thumb. When he's depressed correctly, the bolt can't be bypassed. Now, why is that important? Well, this is the door jamb part that comes with it. Most builders have no clue about locksmithing or what exactly it is they're doing. They just want to get that lock installed and get out of there. So they look at this and they say, well, here's the strike plate. There's a little cutout right there. A little cutout obviously fits there, and that is how I'm going to install it. And when they do that, there's always a little gap between the door and the frame, a little bit of slop to allow the door to close. But unfortunately, now you can depress that. And this is where the shove it tool comes in. Now, let's say they install this plate correctly. For a secure installation, they would install it like this. Now, when that goes in there, it lines up perfectly the way it's supposed to, and it pushes that anti-bypass lever down, and now you can't bypass this knob. No way. You're getting through there. Now, I'll tell you, sometimes it's a pretty tight tolerance. It's 1/8 of an inch about from there to there. If you don't do it correctly, a lot of times you can get on that door and you can shove it. You can push the door forward. Let me do that again. It's installed correctly, and you could push that door forward, and that knob will pop out. So if he's depressed, you can't bypass. You lean on the door and shove him in, and he will pop out. That makes him bypassable. Now I'm going to move this out of the way because I want you to see exactly what's happening with the shove it tool. All right, let's say that you're attacking the door from this direction. The slanted end is on the other side of the door. You'll take that cutout, you slide him in there. He fits flush. And what I normally do is I just wiggle him. I pull backwards and I wiggle the tool back and forth while I'm pulling him towards me with quite a bit of force, and that's what those little nibs help with. And as I slide him back, it kind of happened fast there, but I just kind of wiggle him back and forth, just like that, inside of that tight tolerance. And eventually, if I don't pull so strongly, eventually I'll completely depress him, and we can bypass that door. Pretty cool, right? All right, let's say that I'm attacking from this side of the door. Well, not a lot of difference. Or even from this side of the door, not a lot of difference. Oops, not a lot of difference. You have a little cutout on the front of this tool, and it almost fits. It's not perfect, but it does kind of index that tool on the bolt itself. And when I shove it in like that, instead of going like this, I'll wallow him back and forth. And what that does is it pushes that bolt down. If I can get him to, get him a little bit to cooperate here and not try to work through the camera. And once you get on that slope side, things go a lot smoother, and just keep wallowing him back and forth like that. And eventually it'll slide completely between the door and the jam plate, and you get in there. Now you say, well, what's this little guy for? Well, not all knobs are big fat knobs like this. Sometimes they're smaller, and that's what that guy's for. This one will work just as well on small knobs, but I guess they figured they got a flat side here. They may as well cut it out, save some metal, and give us an additional tool for door latches. So that's how that tool works. All right, so it couldn't be upgraded. Well, wait a minute, we're not done. I also threw this guy in. Now, I've agonized over this. This is kind of unusual. A lot of guys say, well, it's just ornamental. It's a sales gimmick. It's something they got their logo on there. They're trying to push their logo. But there's got to be more to it, because Sparrows, you know, they don't have a reputation for just doing stuff for the heck of it. There's got to be a reason. But I'll be darned if I know what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call them and then come back and tell you what they said about this. This must be part of the toolkit. Otherwise, they wouldn't throw it in, right? All right, guys, I really wasn't able to get anybody on the phone over at Sparrows, but when I'm on the phone waiting, listening to that elevator music, I got to thinking about it, and I've got this figured out. There's no question what this is for. I know that the owner of Sparrows is getting up there in age, and he has a little trouble with his manual dexterity, so he's helping us out as well. What a great tool, man. What a nice thing for them to throw into their expansion kit for that dark shift. All right, so now I know what this guy's for. That's the greatest invention since the lockpick. Anyway, $24.95 for the add-on kit to the dark shift pick set. Let's take a look at the next item. All right, guys, this next thing is kind of interesting because this is the original mace kit. And I don't know that I ever really reviewed this because it was just so small. I didn't see any point. But the nice thing about this is it sells for $12 and you get 6 different tensioners. So 3 different thicknesses that have the Z shape. And then you have 3, if I can find it in here, 3 with a normal L shape, all flexed. So if nothing else, $12 is probably worth it just to get the tensioners. But Sparrows threw in something else. They threw in these 2 guys, and these are tiny. You can tell that these are, let me show you a normal key, how tiny these things are. These will fit right into your pocket or wallet, right in your keychain, and you get 2 of the most popular picks. You got it, you can grab it and from this end, and you can rake it. So we have a Bogota, and then of course we have a short hook. Very neat. Now, if you look at the other end of it, though, there's a little more to it. So they put a lot of thought into the design. We have 2 different ends here. And these, of course, are top of the keyway tensioners. So you can use one to pick with, and you can use the other one to use top of the keyway. So top of the keyway, bottom of the keyway. This original Mason, they sold it for $12. And they've just come out with an expansion kit. Let me move him out of the way. They've come out with this guy. Now, this has a dedicated top of the keyway. So we have on this end some serrations, if I get it to focus. And this end can be used for dimple locks or wider keyways to give you that tension. So a dedicated tensioning tool, again, $12, by the way. You get, again, part of the Bogota family, the double hump, again, with top of the keyway tensioners. If you notice, this one's for even smaller keyways. So they really did put a lot of thought into this. And this, again, reduced diameter on the top of the keyway here. And we have a worm. Comparing it to the original Bogota, you can see it's just a little different to fit into, turn that over, Bill, fit into a shorter profile keyways. So very cool idea. They've also come out with something, $12, called the Mace 3. Again, to add to your keychain kit, a tool we always need, the knife, so we can bypass some locks or use it as a feeler, very sharp. And we have a jiggler key, so this actually works on Ford vehicles quite well. I've done it to my own Explorer several times, just for fun. Works on a lot of vehicle locks. And we have this little guy. Now, he doesn't really look like a pick. Grab him here real quick. Come here, you. He's so thin. It's got a flat end. Doesn't really look like a pick, and that's because very thin material. He's a shim. So if you need to shim a lock or you need to decode a combination lock, this would be the tool of choice. Again, 12 bucks. All of these are expansion kits for the original mace kit. Very cool. All right, let's take a look at the next item. All right, guys, this next one's a little bit unusual. This looks a lot like a city rake or an L rake. But when you look at this end, it obviously is not a normal pick. This is called the street needle. It sells for $2.95. And the idea is that it will replace this guy. Now, in order to demonstrate this, they say this is a lot more effective on snapping locks than the standard needle because you got some variation in bitting. You can slide it in, slide it out, and snap the whole time back and forth. In order to demonstrate it, I had to buy one of these. You guys have seen this before, the double tap. I'm going to install this thing, and let's see just how quickly this street needle does its work. All right, guys, I've chosen this transparent lock so you can hopefully see the pins bouncing around. I'll try to hold it still when we snap it. Looks like 7, but that 7th pin actually holds the core in there. The other reason I chose this lock is because it's got a really wide variation in the bitting, and I'm hoping it's really going to give a challenge to this street needle. On the pick gun itself, it is the Sparrow's double snap. Sells for 50 bucks. Every time you pull the trigger, though, you notice he moves straight up and down, so he strikes all the pins roughly the same time. It's not like some of those Chinese copies where the needle swings like that. So when it starts up, it strikes the front needles first, then the middle needles, and then finally the back ones. This one strikes them all simultaneously. Not so simultaneously, though, with that street needle. That's designed to create slightly different bounce frequency. There is some spring tension on this core, so I'm going to have to overcome the spring tension, but not a lot more than that. I'm going to take the needle, I'm going to slide him in about like that, try to line him up with all the pins, and then start squeezing the trigger, and then move him in and out while continuing to squeeze that trigger. So let's slide him in, right about there, I guess. Apply a little bit of tension. I'll try to hold him as still as I can. Apply a little tension, start squeezing that tap gun. And that is how quick it can be with the street needle. Anyway, guys, there you go. $2.95 for that tip. The gun's 50 bucks. And by the way, if you want to prevent people from doing that kind of thing, again, Sparrows has some seasonal picks. These are called the Scrooge pins. They're a seasonal high security pin. They're all very unique, look like wine cups and Christmas trees and all kinds of stuff. If you guys haven't seen these, he only sells them for, I guess, about 1 month out of every year. If you didn't get any last year, you better grab them because I think come January, these are going to go off the market for another year. So grab them while you can, particularly if you like to put together challenge locks for your buddies. Anyway, let's take a look at the next item, guys. All right, guys, the last thing I'd like to show you is the new multi-pick upgraded Elite 27 kit. Again, I like to stress the power you guys have with some of these manufacturers. I originally reviewed this, I think it was the summer of 2016, and I was curious what had changed in terms of quality over that time. And I got to tell you, it's a leather case, and it's the same beautiful fine grain finish leather case. Beautiful stitching. I'll put the review for the original Elite 27 down there if you want to compare them. I did, and here's what I found out. So let's open this guy up. I was curious what the upgrades were. But more importantly, when I looked at it and started going step by step over the old review, what I found is that I didn't change anything. This is exactly the way I opened this about 10 minutes ago. It's in the same sequence. The picks are in the same slots today as they were originally 2.5 years ago. So whoever's working at Multipick, they clearly have a plan. Everything goes in an exact position, and they're all numbered sequentially. And that's probably an easy way to make sure if you know if there's a pick missing, right away you know who it is. So again, it's attention to detail. It's not big. It's the same pick, same 15 picks. But I think it's really cool that they do it exactly the same way. I just love it's the anal attentiveness in me, I guess. We have the same tensioners. And again, if you take a look, they put them in exactly the same order. Thick, medium, and thin, the same ones. All these guys are also the same picks. And we start getting over here. We have an extractor. We have another bottom of the keyway tensioner there. We have some of these guys, and these are not used so much in North America, but in Europe, a lot of times you have post boxes on your flat, like in the hallway at the entrance. When people lose their key, these are really handy to tension those locks. So these are pretty useful. And then there you go. Now, 2.5 years ago, Multi-Pick did not make top of the keyway tensioners. Now, they just started making these in the last 6 months. I reviewed them, and again, I'll put the review down there if you want to take a look at them. But these are probably the nicest top of the keyway tensioners that you're ever going to find. They're fairly priced. They're made from stainless steel, different thicknesses, very sharp serrations. And in my original review, I compared these to some of our existing choices. When I looked at the finish and the shape and everything, these are probably, there's no question, these are the highest quality top of the keyway tensioners that you can buy. And that is the upgrade. Once they started making top of the keyway, I guess they started including them in their pickets, certainly in this Elite 27. So, and the other amazing thing to me, at least, is the price. 2.5 years ago, this sold for $109 plus shipping to the United States. Now it's roughly the same. It's the same price in euros, but because of the exchange rate, this is now $120. So they didn't change their price. It's just the world changed the exchange rate. So there you go. The new upgraded Elite 27, you now get top of the keyway tensioners. If you're a beginner, you're looking for some durable kits at a fair price, I recommend you support these guys. Maybe they'll donate some stuff and we can give it away. All right, speaking of giveaways, tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so I thought it'd be really cool to have just a massive giveaway. Now, you guys know every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, without any fanfare, without any real announcements, we have giveaways. All you got to do is register, and on Mondays you can win a Southord Pagoda rake kit. On Wednesdays and Fridays, I give away one of these guys. It's usually a Sparrow's Tuxedo or Sparrow's Tuxedo Royale. So Friday, it will still be a Sparrow's Tuxedo, but I'm going to throw in some more stuff. I'm going to throw in 2 sets of the Scrooge pins, and I'm also going to throw in the original Mace kit, the Mace expansion kit, and the Mace 3. So that will be giveaway number 1. I got 5 more. Giveaway number 2, 3, and 4 will be the Dark Shift kit with the Dark Shift expansion kit. And I'm also going to throw in 2 packets of the Scrooge pins. So that's 2, 3, and 4. I actually have 3. Let me grab them and just put them up here. I got 3 sets of the identical sets of that to give away. The next one, I have to start moving stuff out of the way here. It's going to be an awesome giveaway. I had to buy this in order to demonstrate the Street Spike. So you're going to get the Street Spike. You're going to get 2 packets of the Sparrow's Scrooge pins, the seasonal pins, all of the other stuff that goes with this. And also I'm going to throw in order to use that, you're going to need the double tap. That's the next giveaway. And the final giveaway, the creme de la creme, just reviewed this, will be given this highway, the Elite 27 upgrade kit. So if you're interested in winning this stuff, you have a 1 in 6 chance of winning. All you got to do, go to the website, and on the Friday, not the Saturday, but the Friday giveaway, register to win, and then my webmaster will draw 6 names. With a little bit of luck, you'll be a lucky winner of at least some of this stuff. Anyway, guys, appreciate your time. Stay safe. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? There's something else going on, too. I probably ought to announce this. For those of you who've had the patience to watch this far, there's some huge sales coming up. Got a little bit of an advance notice. LockPick Shop is going to have a Black Friday sale, and the code is BK Friday 18. I'll put it down there on the bottom. BK Friday 18. It starts on 11/22 at 7 o'clock in the evening and goes until midnight on 11/25. You get 20% off of everything except multi-pick items. They're also on 11/25 on midnight So when the Black Friday sale ends, they're starting up a Cyber Monday sale that goes for only 24 hours. So midnight, 11:25 to 11:26, same thing. 20% off everything except multi-pick items. Free shipping on everything over $99. If you're subscribed to them, you're probably going to get that notification in the next few days. Southord.com also gave LockLab a unique discount code for all viewers. It's 15% off on everything at the Southord.com site until the day after Christmas. 12/26/18 is when this ends. 15% off, and the code is LockLabCS 2018. I get no kickback from that. I get no compensation of any kind. They were just kind enough to donate a lot of stuff. I guess they get for free advertising probably, but they benefit and we benefit as well. Appreciate your time, guys. Stay safe. Stay legal. If you like the idea of growing the Locksport community, please consider supporting the Lock Lab by either becoming a Patreon or clicking the join button below.